So in this video, we're going to be breaking down every single detail within our advanced script that we use here at Pure Love. This is what I teach my guys. It's mostly similar to a lot of the stuff you see online. I've just done a couple tweaks on the back half to actually pre-handle objections before they even happen and kind of prevent a lot of them. So the goal of using this script is to dilute all of the objections you could possibly get. You're able to effectively get rid of all of the I have guys, the power washers, I'll do it myself, are you licensed, insured, all of these things, because what's happening is essentially the script being said this way properly, it's just building more certainty and kind of answering some concerns for the homeowners before they even could possibly think of them. So obviously the beginning is very similar, there's not much change here. So it's, hey, how's it going? All right, those first 4 seconds are very important. You want to have a good smile with your eyes, and make a good impression off of those first 4 seconds. So it's like, hey, how's it going? All right, anything of the nature. Hey, boss, how's it going? Name's Miguel. Have you seen us around here in the neighborhood past like 4-5 days-ish? Notice my facial expressions. Notice my tonality. I'm looking around, right? I'm selling that question with my tonality and my facial expressions. Because if I say, have you seen us around in the neighborhood the past 4 or 5 days? Sure, you can get a response, but it doesn't really work in the effect that you need, right? Because the point of that question is to build curiosity. That's the entire purpose of the question in the first place. So you got to deliver it with proper tonality, match your facial expressions, it'll help. They respond, yeah, we're just the good looking guys in the pink hoodies. You probably missed us. It's all good, boss. We're just helping out Mr. Susan, as well as Joseph and Steph Curry. We're just helping out with this stuff. If you want to just take 2 steps, I'll show you. Pay attention to my tonality and my body language, because I'm presenting it as close to as you would see me present on the doors. I'm just sitting down. Pay attention to all these things. They all matter, and they all increase your chances of showing him the dirty window, bringing him to the pain point, building the curiosity. So you want to do all these things rather than just blankly say words just to say words, right? They got to mean something. You got to act them out. Take 2 steps, show them the window. So we're just doing all the exterior window washing. We're washing the glass, the frames, and the sills. And we're just doing a bit of a discount just for the gentleman barefoot outside. My goodness, boss, you do qualify. Boom, right? Again, actor. You are an actor. Act it out, right? Make it real. It has to be genuine. If you're like, we're just doing a bit of a discount for the guys with the no shoes on outside, that would be you, sir. What I'll do for you, see, it's weird versus me. It's like it seemed like it was off the cusp. It was genuine. I did the small pause just to make it seem like it was more genuine. You're just an actor, right? So you got to sell these things, and that's how you would probably deliver the front half. Then you just say, what I'll do for you, I'll go around, count up the windows. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Gate on the left or on the right. The idea behind that question is very common, used in door-to-door. Rather than the prospect thinking yes or no, they're just simply going to think, is the gate on the left or on the right? And it kind of gives like this mental confusion of, is the gate on the left or the right? It's on the right side. So they'll answer the question even if they didn't really want a price, and you just take that as your cue to go around and give a price. So that's the purpose of that question. It doesn't work all the time, but that's why it's there. And that's exactly how you do the front half. It's very simple, very short, sweet. There's not much change here. This is pretty much the same stuff you'll see. Most of the change you'll see that I added and I tweaked to it is kind of in the back half here. So obviously come back, meet them in the back, show them the pain point, the dirtiest window on the house. It could also be in the front. You just want to get them out of the front door. So the idea behind that is, if you can get them directly looking at their pain, they're looking at it and they're actively looking and feeling the pain, and you can use it to show exactly what you take care of, how you do them, and make it very visual for them to see how these dirty windows would turn clean, right? So I like to bring them to the back or the side as much as possible, because it actually gives you a bit more time when you're trying to loop. Because literally, I promise you, I've looped 5-6 times to close a deal, can't close it. As they're walking back to the front, because they're just like kind of over the situation, I'll go for like one last loop, one last Hail Mary. Why don't we try this? Give them one more crazy offer, and I'll literally close them. And I would not have been able to do that if I didn't buy that time from being in the back and having to walk with them to the back to the front of the house. Right, so that's why I like doing that. It's not a big deal. It just helps. Anything that's gonna help me 1%, I want to capitalize on, and I want to make sure it makes sense. And so boom, that's how you do the back half, counting the windows, and then now you come back, give them the compliment, do all these things. Hey, yeah, awesome setup back there, boss. My mom's kind of got the same stuff. Oh, hey, boss, I love the Harley back there. You a rider? Yada yada, whatever. Right? Make it a genuine compliment, though. Don't just simply say, hey, boss, I love the setup back there. So usually, if we were to do the whole thing, and just get straight, it's like, what was the point of even saying it? Right? Versus if you say a genuine compliment, they're like, oh, wow, that was something that was awesome. What I like to do here is a pro tip. When I'm looking to compliment something, I try my best to find something that someone works hard on. So what I mean by that is, if someone has a really nice garden in the back, you know they work hard on that or pay a lot of money for it. They clearly care about it. So compliment something that takes a lot of investment from people, because that's what they appreciate. Versus if you're just like, hey, I love the view back there. It's like, yeah, everyone that ever came to my house has always said that. You get what I mean? And it just doesn't mean nothing to them because they did nothing for that. It still works. I'm not saying don't do that. But if you're trying to increase your odds the best, look for something that people work hard on. Compliment them on that. They'll fucking appreciate the shit out of it. They love it. Because it's real, right? It's genuine. You're noticing things that they work hard on, and they love that. And anytime that you do something genuine and real, and like someone can appreciate that, all this is doing is increasing your likability, and it's increasing their level of trust with you as a person, which is extremely important, because you could back the best company in the world. You could be selling for Amazon, but if you're a shadester and you can't get them to like you and they don't trust you, you're not making a single sale, even representing Amazon. So that's why we do all these things. Now getting into it. So when you're presenting in the back, you want to have bottled certainty and conviction, right? That's the kind of tonality you got, right? So it's like, it kind of looks like this. So a bit about our process. Now, mind you, we're looking at the dirtiest window, whether it's on the side, the back, even the front, most likely the back. Hey, boss, so yeah, just a bit about our process. Now, it's key to note, we do not power wash. You never let anyone power wash your windows. What we do is, obviously, we scrub all the glass, but we actually really focus on all the frames and the sills, just because that's where all the dirt sits. Then we rinse with deionized water. That way it could just stay clean with no spots or streaks for 6 months up to a full year. Does that all like kind of make sense? I would throw those in there just to make sure it makes sense to them. Or you could just finish the prompt there and then ask. And then what's really awesome, boss, we actually don't use any ladders. We just use the 35-foot extension posts just to keep ourselves and everything around the home safe, which is super important, right? Does that all make sense? You see where I'm coming from, John? It's pretty cool, huh? Right? All those questions is just getting them to like admit that yes, it's a cool process. So why does this work? Immediately out the gate, you're gonna tell them we're not power washing the windows specifically. So this immediately gets rid of all of those objections that they could say where it's like, I have a power washer, or I'll do it myself with the power washer. I have a guy who power washes them. All those get completely cut out because you're specifically, clearly and concisely telling them we don't power wash. This is what we do, right? And then you could even get further into detail and explain to them why we do this rather than the power washer, which is like the power washer can bust the sills, it can damage the windows, it could leave a lot of hard water spots, which look tacky. Versus what we do, boss, is a bit more gentle. We pop the screens out, we hand clean all the seals, rinse with the deionized water, just to make sure that they're clean for 6 months up to a year, and that we're actually protecting the windows, right? So this is how you differ from any other guy or any power washer or them doing it themselves. That's how you build that certainty in explaining the differences between what all these other people do between what we do. And you segue into that by saying, we do not power wash. Literally, since I added those 3 fucking words right there to the beginning of my summary of services, I never get the objection. No one's ever telling me they'll try doing it themselves. No one's ever bringing up the $200 guy who power washes their entire house again. Like, I don't have to deal with those objections because I'm pre-handling it right here. Also, I don't even know when the last time I had a licensed and insured question. My company has not been licensed and insured for the past 2 years, and we've done so much revenue. It doesn't matter. I don't even get the question anymore because I'm illicitly telling them we don't use any ladders, just the 35-foot extension poles. And that's just to make sure we keep ourselves and everything around the home safe. Does that make sense? I even like to throw in a joke, and I'm like, because at the end of the day, boss, $1 million insurance policy still won't fix a broken neck. Which is completely true. It's a good joke, and it's completely fucking true. You could have the best insurance policy in the world, but if your guy falls off a ladder and dies, what's that insurance policy going to do? What's that workman comp going to do? The dude is dead, right? So you're just literally letting them know, hey, we are as safe as possible. No ladders, just the 35-foot extension poles to keep everything safe, which is very important to these homeowners. And that's why I don't get, are you licensed? Are you bonded? Are you insured? They're not really concerned about none of that stuff because they already know we're not using ladders. Whereas before, when I didn't bring that up, they would just assume we're using ladders, even though we weren't, because other companies do, or that's just the process they're familiar with. And we always got the question. And most of the time, I would be able to push past it and let them know, we don't need the insurance because we're just not using the ladders or whatever. But there would be deals that got lost because I wasn't licensed and insured. But because I'm bringing up that we don't use ladders, I don't even get the question anymore. So there's honestly probably people we've serviced that it's important for us to be licensed and insured. But we still did their work because they never even had to ask that question or even have the concern because we let them know how safe we do the work. And that's how you prevent all of those objections, literally right there. Now, for the second part, does that all make sense? Yeah, sounds pretty good, man. Yeah, cool, John. So usually for the full house scrub down, standard corporate rate is $395. However, we're making our way through the neighborhood today, so luckily for you, John actually already paid the transportation fee of $100, so it brings it down to just $295 today. And that's for all the glass, frames, sills, glass doors on both levels, all 4 sides. So I put a highlight here, get some thinking about today. Literally this one word added right there, just right there, and saying it with emphasis completely avoids the not today, or I gotta think about it, or this or that. They don't even mention those objections on the front. Eventually we get to them because you do have to obviously schedule them and figure out the logistics of when we can do it. But before I started doing that, I would say, nah, man, I'm not trying to spend money today. I don't want to do nothing today. No, not today. That's all they would say. And they wouldn't hear any of my looping because they were just stuck on not today. They were just assumed like we had to do it today, no matter what. So the reason I bring this up here is because it's letting them know, yes, this deal is for today. It's letting them know the deal is for today. And that's very important because they won't just brush us off, right? Another thing that would happen before I started doing this is like, they'll be like, just come back tomorrow, or come back 2 or 3 days from now, come back next week, whatever. But if I let them know, no, hey, this deal is for today, none of that happens. None of that, I got to think about it, to come back, none of that. Because I say, bringing it down to just $295 today, and that's for all the glass, frames, sills, glass doors on both levels, all 4 sides of the entire house. So that's why that's there. Those are the objections it prevents. And then lastly, I always bring this up once I say the price, just to also attach the value with the price immediately. So it's like, it's $295 today, and that's for all the glass, frames, sills, glass doors on both levels, all 4 sides of the entire house. Boom. Now, obviously, boss, we'd love to add you to our list of 16 customers in the neighborhood. So to make sure that you're super happy, we have a full guarantee. So only when we're done and you've got like 2 minutes on your hands, before you pay a single dime, I need you to walk around with the guard dog or the baby or the wife, good joke, and just make sure the whole house looks amazing. And all I need from you, boss, is just a name and a phone number, and we'll just make the whole place look awesome. Boom. So I add this. Now, obviously, we'd love to add you to our list of 16 customers in the neighborhood. Now, this is massive because all this does is build certainty. And also pay attention to how many times I'm throwing social proof out on these pitches. You gotta spam the social proof, especially when you have it. When you don't have it, it's a bit trickier. I would usually just use the same name and like kind of just elaborate what we did for that one person. But a lot of we've just done so many jobs that a lot of the routes we're going to, we've already serviced in the past. And so we do have a list of 10 to 16 customers and we just want to add them. So this is just building massive certainty and they're like, you're going to add us to the list of 16 customers. We've done 16 customers, yada, yada. Awesome. And then also you'd let them know, so just to make sure you're happy, we have a full guarantee, right? You want to emphasize that before bringing them to a decision. Hey, there's nothing to lose. If we do a horrible job, you just let us know and you haven't paid a dime yet until you're satisfied, right? And like it's just a no-brainer to the person where it's like, after you do all these things, it's a safe purchase, it's a secure person, it's something that's safe to get done, it's a reasonable price, the value's there. They've done a bunch of the neighborhoods in this community, and also worst case scenario, if they have a bad day and do a bad job, I don't pay until I verify and make it look good. How easy is it for that homeowner to say yes now? It's extremely easier, and that's the whole goal. You're just making it easy for the homeowner to tell you yes, so you can do their work and do their job and make them happy. So that's how all of that works, and that's pretty much it. And then lastly, I always end with, all I need from you is just a name and a phone number, and we'll just make it look awesome. Boom. It's just an assumptive close. They have not told me yes yet. It's just an assumptive close, because I'll literally close people like this and they'll say, yeah, name's Susan. Yeah, 704-442-4444. Awesome, Susan. Yeah, so lastly, I'll just write down the line items with you just so you see like everything that we'll be doing. Boom, I'll open my app, I'll literally show them, and I'll start writing windows, glass doors. Maybe we did a front porch for free. Maybe we did a front gutters for free, whatever. Does all that look good to you, Susan? Awesome. Yeah, so you could expect us out around 10 to noonish tomorrow. That work for you? Yeah, sounds great. Boom, boom. Just assume the shit out of it. She never directly told me yes, but I still closed the deal because I assumed that she said yes, and she just went with it. And obviously, if she didn't want to do it at all of those touch points, she would have just told me no. So obviously, it doesn't work for every single person all the time. But if it's going to give me a 1% chance of, a 1% higher chance of closing the deal, I'm fucking doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing anything I can to give me a better chance of closing a deal, because it's already hard knocking all doors all day. And that is how that goes. So I'll do it one last time from the top down, fully presenting how I would on the doors, just to make sure the whole thing looks really awesome. Hey, how's it going, boss? Name's Miguel. Have you seen us around here in the neighborhood in like the past 4, 5, like 6 days-ish, like up on 123 Main Street? Oh, that's all good, boss. Yeah, we're just the good-looking guys with pink hoodies. You probably missed us. Yeah, we were just helping out John, Susan, Matthew, and David. I don't know if you know those guys, but we're just helping them with this stuff. If you want to just take 2 steps, I'll show you. Walk to the window. Don't look at them. Don't wait for them. Walk. Yeah, so we're just scrubbing down all of, like, the glass, all of the frames, and like the sills and tracks where all the dirt sits. Just helping everyone shine it up, and we're also doing a bit of a discount for the gentleman with the pink hoodies on, which you do qualify, boss, I will say. So what I'll do for you, takes me like 20 seconds. I'll just go around, count up all the glass, and just leave you with a quick price. Is the gate on the left or on the right side? Awesome. Yeah, I'll meet you back here. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, boss, I love the Davidson back there. Yeah, the Harley Davidson. You're a rider? What year is it? Okay, cool. And let me ask you, boss, like, exactly how much did you like kind of pay for it? Yeah, I'm just asking. I might get one myself. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, so just a bit about our process. Or sorry, first, just real quick, boss. There was just something in the back I needed to show you real fast. If you want to just meet me back there, I'll just go this way. Boom, walk away. He meets me in the back. Now, so obviously, boss, Actually, no, before this, you even want to build a bit of rapport. Probably added to this. Build some rapport. So you want to ask him about his day. Hey, how's the day been going, boss? Oh, pretty smooth, pretty smooth. It's been all right. All right? Why just all right, man? Why not great? I mean, we're alive, you know? Yeah, man, yeah, just Monday activities. Yeah, I got you, boss. I got you. You're working hard or hardly working in there? You can be honest with me. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Right, so build rapport. That's just random example. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring you back here just to show you this. So, a bit about our process. Now, it's key to note we don't power wash. Never let anyone power wash your windows. What we do is, obviously, we scrub all the glass, but we really focus on all the frames and all the sills just because that's where all the dirt sits. Then we rinse with deionized water. That's just to make sure that it dries with no spots or any streaks left behind, and that it stays clean for like 6 months up to a full year. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then lastly, John, we actually don't even use any ladders. So we just use the 35-foot extension post just to keep ourselves and everything around the home safe. Does that all make sense? Awesome. Yeah, so usually for the full house scrub down, the standard corporate is $395. However, since we're making our way through the neighborhood today, servicing some clients, luckily for you, John actually paid the transportation fees, and that's actually $100. So it comes down to just $295 today, and that's for all the glass, all the frames, all the sills, and then all the glass doors on both levels, all 4 sides of the entire house. Now, obviously, John, we'd love to add you to the list of 16 customers in the neighborhood, so we kind of got to uphold our reputation. And so to make sure that you're super happy, we actually have a full guarantee. So only when we're done and you've got just 2 minutes, before you pay a single dime, I want you to walk around with me or the guard dog, and then we could just make sure the whole house looks amazing just before you pay. And all I need from your boss is just a first name and a phone number, and we'll make the whole place look awesome. That's it. Now you just go into objection handling, and that's a completely separate topic. But that's exactly how I would deliver this pitch. Cater it to your personality, to your tone, but just understand why these words matter, how it pre-handles stuff, how it can prevent all of these objections. Because essentially, you have all kinds of objections and all kinds of smoke screens and all kinds of randomness that people tell you. But properly delivering this presentation will completely eliminate all of those smoke screens and all of those random objections and get to just the main 3, which I've determined are spouse, so it's either wife or husband, and there's ways to deal with them differently, right, just based on male and female dynamics. Also timing, so just logistics of like, tomorrow doesn't work for me, or maybe we should try next week or whatever, right? But you could work through that. And then also lastly, at this point, if you deliver all this properly, you also get like some people who just don't care, and they're just like, yeah, I get what you're telling me, but this is just not a necessity. This is just not important. It's not on the top of the to-do list. It's not this, whatever. But those are the only 3 objections I really actually have to deal with, thanks to this presentation, the way it's worded, the way it's presented, and how we pre-handle a lot of objections. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the entire advanced script. Lastly, obviously subscribe, like, turn on notifications for whenever I do post a video. I'm currently scaling my home service business to infinity and beyond. I'm trying to build systems. I'm working on all these things, implementing a lot of new stuff. So subscribe, tap the notifications. That way you could obviously track my journey and implement a lot of the things that I'm learning and experimenting with while I'm on my rise to the top, because you will see pure love at the top. Also, I made a free Discord for you guys. If you want to join it, links in the description. And then you can actually DM me there and we'll get to talking. Stay blessed, everyone.